form. Look at that serious look on her face.
Well, it might be because she's also doing a Tsukuhara, but she's doing it in the tuck position, but with a full twist. So she will do 2 full rotations off her hand, 1 in each direction. A little low on the landing, but not such a bad job. Also a little bit directionally crooked, right, Bart?
It looked a little bit out of line, but she did get a pretty good push off the horse, enough to finish the skill.
That's the score for Li Cuiling. As you look at Don Peters of California, the U.S. women's coach, and there's a tough fight for the U.S. against China. What are the American chances going in?
We have it.
Experienced. Here's Lisa Zeis from North Tonawanda, New York. She's just 15 years old, 8th in the all-round in the U.S. Championships here in 1980. Keep in mind, it's a 4-ring circuit. A lot of events going on at once. The United States happens to be following China in every one of the 4 exercises. Here's Lisa, the vault.
And she's a very good vaulter. She's going to use a tuck front with a half twist, and she did a really nice job on it.
Fantastic vault.
A little misaligned in terms of directions, but I think meeting all of the other requirements of vaulting.
9-6. Now Marcia Frederick, and of course, she's worked at your school Muriel, in Connecticut. Where is her head at right now?
Well, her head is to become the best all-around gymnast she can become. And one of the events Marcia's very good in is this event, the vault, but she hasn't particularly proved that. She's doing a layout, Tsukuhara, and what a good job by Marcia. That was really well done. Again, the idea in this vault is to be able to push high and hard enough and rotate enough to stay straight all the way around to the floor, which Marcia did.
And a great score, 9-8 for Marcia Frederick, one of 2 members of the U.S. Olympic team, and the other one right here, 16-year-old Luci Collins from Inglewood, California.
And Luci is our other Olympian, besides Marcia, and she also is going to do the Tsukuhara in the layout position.
Luci has a very strong run here. Nice push. Beautiful landing.
It was really a really nice vault. A little teeny bit of a pike to come down, a little bit of a leg separation in the first part, but good job.
A 9-6 for Luci Collins. The United States has a half of a point lead over China. With Japan in 3rd place, Marcia Frederick has the early lead with Luci. He's just love it in Connecticut. As we move on to the second set of exercises, and we're going to see a great duel here between Ma Yanhong of China on the uneven bars and Marcia.
And this is Ma, and so far things are going very well. She exemplifies, I think, perfection of movement combined with difficulty, like in that clear circle with a full turn, which is called a Frederick, by the way, but she does it just as well as Frederick. Very nicely done. Things are going still very well.
Beautiful body line and excellent extension.
And here she'll be setting and getting ready for a dismount, which she's been having a little bit of trouble with all week in practice.
Oh, a little short on the rotation.
I think she has a little trouble with our uneven bars. I think the timing's been off for her all week. And you can see that when she starts the movement, that's the beautiful full turn, the beautiful Frederick, just done so well. And she's continuing again with perfection, no mistakes. The clear circle to handstand, the Stalder circle to handstand, both very well done. And now we'll get a chance to take a closer look at the dismount. I think she didn't get against the bar in time to be able to hecht in time, which caused all of the later mistakes. It really is a shame.
9-4-5, and she excels in that event, as does Marcia Frederick, who is a past world champion in the uneven bars. She has her fans, her family in Connecticut, watching her here in Hartford, Connecticut. And what about this competition?
I'd like to...
Good luck, Marcia. Muriel, you've got a sign for you. Well, they're all out there for her.
Well, this is just so close to home for us, just a half an hour down the road. Marcia, by the way, is trying a new trick that has never been done on the uneven bars, and it's right here. Toe circle on and off to reverse hack, like we saw the men doing earlier, the Chakev, and she just made it, and am I relieved. And now we go more stock into the rest of her routine.
A beautiful Stalder with 1.5 turns. Oh.
And that's the story, Dick. I guess you get in trouble on the easier parts. That little extra gliding action will cost her 0.3 of a point. And nice you made the new part, but it's not going to be the score she wants.
You still get nervous watching her perform, Muriel?
Of all my gymnasts that I have coached, Marcia makes me least nervous because I think she's a very dependable athlete. But yes, I still get nervous, and I probably will until I finish coaching. Here we're going to be seeing the part of the exercise that she made the mistake on. Here's the stalder with the 1.5 twist, and here she's late on the uprise. The full turn's late, the drop's late. She doesn't have enough for the glide kick, so she has to re-kip, and then the rest of the exercise comes well. The handstand into the dismount, toe on front, done very, very well, but that mistake has to cost her 0.3 of a point.
Her score is 9-7. She's done better. And Yanhong of China, Marcia Frederick, both had their problems in their big duel on the uneven bars. And China leading by 1 3/10 points over the United States after 2 of the exercises. But Marcia Frederick leads, and it's very tight between the top 3 in the all-around. We'll be back with more gymnastics when we return in just a moment. Women's, as we take a look now at Li Cuiling, the 19-year-old, performing on the beam.
Dick, I truly believe that the Chinese women's team is the finest team we have ever seen in gymnastics history on the balance beam, and for 2 reasons. The first reason is that they fulfill all the requirements of difficulty, which is important in gymnastics. But the name of our sport is artistic gymnastics, and what makes them so special is the fact that they've retained the beauty of dance, the beauty of movement, the beautiful rhythm at the same time that they do the difficulty. And they even use very pure balletic technique to execute most of their movements on the balance beam. So far, she's doing a fantastic job, and that cartwheel layout somersault is very original to her and the best I have ever seen it done on the balance beam. So far, that is the largest flaw I've seen in the exercise, which certainly doesn't amount to even 0.1 of a point.
It's incredible that she can move so beautifully and yet be so powerful in her tumbling.
I think that's what gymnastics should be about, beauty and power simultaneously, which I think women's gymnastics has lost sight of a bit recently. And the Chinese team may help very much in the effort to get the sport back to what it really should be, which is the most beautiful difficulty combined with the most beautiful artistry. Here she'll be getting ready for a dismount, cartwheel, layout somersault, full twisting somersault. What do you think about that, bud?
It's a fantastic tumbling run. What a way to finish that beautiful routine.
Nice smile by Li Cuiling. You know, the Chinese girls don't smile all the time. When they do, it's beautiful.
Here we can take a closer look at that super dismount. The cartwheel, which is very hard to stay square on the beam with, into the layout somersault, and continuingly, immediately into the tuck full twist dismount. Really a nice job.
Well, 9.65 on the unevens had been her best score, and now she comes up with a 9.8. So Li Cuiling moving up now. And on the beam, you'll see Marcia Frederick, who is our all-round leader right now.
I think that Marcia felt when she first came to me to be her coach, when she came to us in Connecticut, I think that she felt the worst about this event, the balance beam, felt she had to make the most improvement. It's my belief that Marcia can be anything she'd like to be on the balance beam. And in fact, one of the things they think makes her very nice presently on the beam is the great versatility she shows in her routine. She has good difficulty backward, forward, in all directions. She is truly very versatile.
An important key to being good on balance beam also is the aggressive and attacking sort of mind, and I think Marcia has that sort of concentration that allows her to stay with the routine all the way through.
I hope you're right, Bart, because with all the confidence in the world that I have with Marcia, I get nervous that this routine lasts so long. So far, things are going very well. She'll be setting up here for her swing handstand, a Frederick trademark, and her extension roll, very nicely done through the handstand. And now we've got one hard part left until the dismount. 2 aerials in succession.
Oh. A little bit break in the rhythm. What happened there, Muriel?
I'm not sure. Definitely she did not set up correctly. She didn't get her chest down to begin the movement, and she did the right thing. She took the second aerial out, and she's continuing with composure for the rest of the exercise. Does a pretty good job on the double twist.
Well, she recovered nicely there, Marcia Frederick, and she has the fans behind her. What about her future plans? We're going to take a look at her on the beam again. Will she stay around for the Olympics? Will she retire? Some people say she will.
Well, a lot of people have been speculating. The way Marcia originally planned to go about it, here we can see that aerial again, and the hips are crooked on the landing, and I think that her ankles are sore, and if she took a little bit of a shot, I don't think she was thinking quickly enough to stay straight. I think Marcia's feelings about how long she'll be a gymnast really relates to day to day, week to week, month to month, one season to one season. But lately, she's been encouraged enough to start thinking about 1984. So don't be too surprised if you see Marcia Frederick still around, doing very well by 1984.
I hope she is. Well, Marcia's slip on the beam is sure to cost her some points and perhaps her all-round lead as well, and she winds up 9.45, and I think she's just a bit disgusted. So after 3 exercises in the women's competition, China, they won the men's, don't forget, leading the USA. And in the all-round, Li Cuiling of China has replaced Marcia Frederick in the lead there. More gymnastics coming up later. We'll be going back for the conclusion of the motorcycle jump challenge in just a moment. The International Invitational Gymnastics Championships before one of the most knowledgeable audiences we've come across here at the Civic Center in Hartford. Dick Stockton, Muriel Grossfeld, and Bart Connor. This is Li Cuiling of China, the all-round women's leader, the final event, the floor exercise.
And she'll be coming down here for her first tumbling effort. Full twisting, double back somersault, and what'd you think of that, Bart? You don't see too many.
That was fantastic. That's one of the most difficult tumbling skills done in the world today.
And again, we're seeing the Chinese gymnasts combine beautiful artistry with great athletics, what gymnastics truly is all about.
She prepares for her second tumbling run.
A cartwheel to an Arabian somersault to a beautiful, high, gorgeous double twist.
It's not all that easy to learn what the Chinese athletes think of their experience. Big cultural gap between where they come from in the United States. What kind of food do they like? They talk about candy. Well, I was over in Peking and Shanghai, and they have a lot of candy there.
I am convinced they live on it. And she'll be coming down for her last tumbling effort. A nicely done double twist. And a truly great and lovely floor exercise routine.
Worth seeing again?
No question about it. Just gorgeous.
Her last tumbling run here will be a double twisting backflip. She has good speed going into it. The round off and back handspring. Lift, up, and 2 twists. Very clean.
She scored a 9.8 in the beam. And here in the floor exercise, Li Cuiling, also a 9.8. So she has done very well indeed, and she is the leader right now. And now Marcia Frederick. She's got to do very well to win this competition. Her best score, 9.8 in the vault.
Marcia's first tumbling effort, a new one for her, doing her double back somersault out of a flip-flop. Very nicely done.
Beautiful landing.
She's off to a good start, but I have to say here that the battle, in a sense, is pretty much over with the 9.8 score from Li, because Marcia has eliminated in this pass her double twist, which normally goes on that somersault, which means, numerically speaking, she can't achieve a 9.8. So the meet is literally over. The best she can hope to do would be a 9.7. Is going very, very well. The execution is good. The dance steps very varied. Nice height and elevation. And now Marcia will be readying herself for her last tumbling pass. It's the same as Li's, the double twist. Let's see how they compare. Nice job by Marcia on the double twist. Very good form.
Is that a lapse in concentration that she let out that one routine?
No, it isn't, because of her ankles and her feet. She fell from bars this week in practice and had some feet injuries, and it was decided it would be best for her welfare not to attempt the extra double twist.
Big favorite here in Hartford. She gets the hugs, but her score 9.65, and you're so right. Li Cuiling was just too tough on those last 2 events. So, Li Cuiling wins the all-round women's title. Marcia Frederick, second place, and China victorious in the women's team championship in a very impressive international event. In the men's competition, which you saw earlier on our program, the story was the same. Around. And the team titles have already